we hope you find this interesting, folks, if you're listening. I had to give you this in 3 parts. We've rabbited on for fucking 3.5 hours. We might have to play this in between each bit that he cuts up and presents this over a weekly thing. So this will be the end of part 1, or perhaps the end of part 2, and listen to the end of part 3 at the end, where finally, because we just fucking, because he lives in a town, doesn't know anyone, bit of a fucking loser, and I'm just a fucking loser in Ipswich in England. Fucking just fell down the stairs the other day because he fucking trod on a child's toy. So we hope you've enjoyed the chat, and as he says, get out in the sun.
Oh no, not another box of dogs!
It's another box of dogs!
Very good point.
Good point.
I'll be right in the 5th dimension. I'll have it all under control.
You're not in the dimension. You're in this fucking dimension.
Holy shit.
He's great.
Mm.
You should listen to this guy.
What's his name again?
There's a guy called John Lamb Lash.
John Lamb Lash.
He wrote a book called, his famous one is called Not in His Name. So it's totally shamanic. He's I love him because he breaks my fucking mind too.
Mm.
And it takes me to the place where I really feel more comfortable, which is full fucking, like he just discussed flat earth this morning. Did he mock either side? No, he didn't. He just went fucking, he goes, what if this is something, because he talks about Sophia, the great goddess, that you are just in the dream of the earth. The earth is a god. He's not into God and fucking Jesus or Christianity. He finds Christianity the most fucking vile thing in the world, and all monotheistic religions, right? And we won't discuss everything with you on this thing.
Mm.
But so he can even see like flat earth. He's going, well, isn't this interesting? This could just be, why do some of these people just come up with these things? And then he goes, some of their arguments are valid. Right? So that's what I like about him. He goes, right. And some of the globe arguments are also valid and not valid.
Mm.
Right. So why don't you just think that none of you know, and that perhaps this is a sign from the great earth, the great mother, giving you ideas within the idea of what? To wake up to things. I love the way he looks at it. Right. He broke down the Mandela effect. He goes, he saw it as Mother Gaia, the earth, the Sophia goddess, which is the earth, which you're in her dream. That's what you are. You're a physical body in a real world that is also real, but not real.
Mm.
Right. So, but it's real here. It's totally real. But you can go to other worlds, right? Transpersonal, if you're a shaman, fucking right. So he was looking at the Mandela effect as going, you know, what if it's just like the Sophia goddess, this thing, what showing you that reality is not what you think, and giving you clues to what's going on in the world of things you have to wake up to. Because I'll tell you this has fucking blew me away, and I don't know how to explain it. I was on the tube in London. I was on a tube here, and it's going to stop at this station, and I have to cross the platform to get on a train. It's going to take me the last 3 stops.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing here. There's a woman here. I think there's a nurse woman down here. I think there's another bloke here, and there was a guy sitting there. When you're on the tube, you can look down. There's the first seat, so I'm standing up. There was a bloke in shorts. It was summer. He had a Walkman thing on, and he had hairy legs, real hairy legs. Because I remember thinking, got some hairy legs there, brother. Right? Hairy fucking legs. So anyway, the train stops. This woman's going to get off, go across the platform. The nurse stands up, so I'm going to let her out first. So she gets out. I walk across the platform. I walk straight to the train. The other train's there with the doors open. I walk in. I go to the same pole, look down. That guy I was just looking at is there.
Really?
He couldn't have got off the train before me.
Mm.
He didn't get off the train before me, not the way I went, because I went that way. So he would have to go down the carriage and then go back and then sit there. And not only was he there, he wasn't settling down. He was in the same thing. It was in the same
Same position. Yeah.
same energy.
Yep.
yeah, right. I was like, it was a fucking weird. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what the fuck. I'm sure there's more wiser men or women in the world that can maybe give me some kind of fucking idea. But I'm like, I know that guy didn't. I know.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't have shocked me like that.
Mm. Well, this is the whole thing about NPCs, non-player characters in video games. The way video games are being extrapolated into what we see as reality, and people are now understanding reality in a different way, and that non-playing characters are rife. They're everywhere. They're just like automatons that are there to interact with you. I had an experience a while ago, I want to tell you about this, where it was kind of like maybe it was what they call an acid flashback or something, but it was very realistic. It was like I walked out to the back of my house and I saw the trees at the back of the house, and suddenly everything clicked and I went, I get it. I understand reality. And in that moment, there was this, it was like this movement that went whoosh, like mirrors, like the mirror that was there that I'd been seeing went, okay, you got that, next one. And I was in this hall of mirrors. And it's how reality, we reflect our reality back at ourselves. It's very hard to know what is real.
yeah. Well, actually, you should listen to this John Mayer Lash guy. I'll send you some stuff to look him up.
Please do. That'd be great.
Because I've looked into so much stuff, and there's stuff I don't, and I go, yeah, and I can look at it, and I've looked at non-duality and Buddhism and enlightenments and fucking shadow work, and never committed to any, but it's a great conundrum of like spiritual enlightenment. The whole thing is like what searching for spiritual enlightenment drags you away from it, apparently. Because apparently you already are, so what are you doing? No process. So I'm starting to like his stuff more because I've looked into shamanic stuff in the 90s. Read a lot of Carlos Castaneda books. Not a shaman, not boasting that. But I like what he said the other day. He goes, I watched him on one talk, and at the end of it, he just goes, and what we can talk about next time, he goes, is the profound use of hate. And I went, oh, fucking, the guy's like shocked like this. And he goes, oh, yeah, you've got to use your hate. I'm like, thank God I fucking need to hear someone fucking say fucking. So I've heard more of him talk about it. He goes, well, hate is noble. Because you think about it, it's here, isn't it? Hate.
Yeah.
Because we're programmed. We have this thing. Well, it shouldn't be here. It's like this. Well, think positive things and do this, or what the negative energy shouldn't be here, or something. Like your idea about pain or dying shouldn't happen. I don't want it. I want to stay away from it. There's a thing that pushes you away from it. And they'll talk about meditations or this, and bring in positive light and do this new age rubbish and all this, but how to dispel negative thinking and all this. But is it negative or is it just there? Right. Now, I'm not saying you get caught up in it, become a miserable cunt all day, but but there's no use trying to get rid of it. Because it's and then I think you lose an understanding of its own nobility and what is it here for? It's here, isn't it? Yeah, right. So is it simply here to overcome, so you become salvation, salvation, or something, right? So, because as he says, if you don't love enough what you love to use hate to protect it, so he sees it, right?
That's fucking great.
Yeah, right.
That's fucking great. I love that.
Right, and so I mean, I won't talk about everything on him now. I'll let you investigate it. So
yeah.
Because it's deeper than this too. It's not just shamanic. We're talking deep.
Yeah.
I don't want to act all fucking woo. I'm just saying it's fucking it's good stuff. You know, like it's very. I just like it because it's. Well, he talks about the Earth as a Gaia that is created from galaxies. This guy's well read. He's one of these guys. God, once he dies, you've lost the fucking wealth of fucking information.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, we're not talking some guy that beat around the bush, read a few books like me.
Mm.
I read quite a lot of books, but we're talking fucking, you know, in 1480 AD, when there's the Council of Trent, the so forth and whatnot, and that brought the council, you know, and not just a strict, boring, fucking intellectual. No, he's a fucking shaman.
Mm.
He's great.
Fuck yeah.
And
that sounds wild.
yeah.
Fucking love that shit. I like, yeah.
Because, you know, what is the Judeo-Christian and all this kind of stuff? Well, like, turn the other cheek, forgive.
Mm.
And he's like, what? Forgive what? Those who that are currently committing this crime against humanity? Just
yeah, I can't forgive them.
Yeah.
I'm so furious at this shit all the time, and a lot of times I can't control it. And I think that's because I'm not channeling it correctly, because I just fucking.
You know what, though? Here's the thing, though. When he's talking about this, and we're just talking about it in a small level, I know he's not talking about it in the sense of unabashed, uncontrolled, unfocused hate, triggered in an erroneous fashion from someone who's just fucking had enough. That's not what he's talking about. No, he's talking about someone who's fucking in 0 point with nobility, acting from truth. Yeah. You know, like it's not just go off, go mental.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no need to punch walls. There are actual. Yeah. Walls don't deserve it. No, yeah, I think that needs to be. It's the shadow self. You have to incorporate. The best kind of men are dangerous men who know how to control that.
Yeah,
you need to be dangerous. You need to be able to do the things that are necessary.
Mate, that's where I grew up. Like some of my comedy now, I don't agree with. I did in the past, in the sense of that I have a much greater respect for masculinity now, which I never got taught and never had.
Yeah.
It's because I was traumatized by women and didn't have any masculine roles. I was like, naturally, thank God I was artistic, because at least that side of me had artistic talent enough to find a world. Because you can be a bit, all artists are a bit, musicians, they can be a bit fucking feminine more, it's, footy players aren't, they're fucking like, musos can be a bit fucking, or they can be full on masculine, do the fucking which is brilliant.
It's we have a similar connection in the past. I used to produce death metal records. I produced a band called Bestial Warlust. I produced was it Vengeance War Vengeance Till Death, or Vengeance War Till Death? Yeah. And they were the hyper masculine dudes. They were fucking metal, and I appreciated that. It was good to get a dose of that, because I'd been around this artistic crowd that were just like, hyper feminine.
Oh yeah, and that and I've always liked metal's the best for just not that I always listen to metal all the time, but just in that it's just the freest fucking world, that I got into. It was just like, it was the fucking coolest. It was the music was killer. It was like, like just unreal. It was cool.
Yeah.
The uniform was cool. Like,
Yep.
you wear spikes and fucking leather and fucking fulfilled every fantasy, fucking Fonzie fantasy you got instilled with watching Happy Days. Like,
yeah.
and so like, yeah, I always used to fucking, especially when in the 80s when you're in the Netherlands, people still knock it, think it's stupid, really stupid. It's just outcast music.
Mm.
But then it was funny. Then you'd hear like ballads from the Scorpions. You got some Scorpions records and they got ballads, and you're like, but these are really good fucking songs with great musicians. Like, and you haven't even heard it. You don't even want to hear it, but you'd probably like it.
Yeah.
But see, that's what made me see how programmed they are. They just they go en masse like a collective thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like an audience. See, an audience. Here's the audience, right? So the audience wants to be led, right? It wants to be led. But if you can't lead them, they want your blood, right? So, because here's the thing, where you have to learn, like the audience might, like a woman, fucking shit test you. But if you fail, like you can't hold the fucking thing, then they'll all join up against you because you're making them feel horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah. Right. So they'll all just fucking tribalize, right?
Yep.
But here's the ultimate thing: where what they really want is for you to pull. Please lead us.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: they want to submit. They will dominate you, but they want to submit. That's what they really want, because they how much fun is just dominating some guy died on stage? It's no fun, right? So please lead us. So that's why now, if I've got a crowd that's a bit dodgy, I just tell them, you're not that good, are you? And I just tell them, I go, listen, I don't want to be arrogant, but I've done this for 25 years, so I know what's funny. I know I can do it. And like, so if all of you don't get it, it's not me.
Yeah.
Like it's you. And like we might have fun. Because sometimes when I tell them this, I start to win them.
Yeah.
Right. Because they like the fact that I'm just not scared. Right.
We are such herd animals. If they look up on stage and they see you're scared, they will just nah.
And so once I just confront them and tell them, like, oh fuck, I've had better gigs than this, but I've got the goods. And then I've got punchlines, which I do, and then eventually I get them, right? And then that's why that chick one night, she goes, how did you go off stage and tell them that they were shit? They liked you. And because really they don't want to be shit.
Yeah.
Right. And some crowds are just harder than others, and some won't come with my sort of brash style, but others,
I think that
they just turn around.
The brilliance of that is you're pointing out they're not keeping their end of the bargain.
Yeah, well, I tell them, this is on Saturday. I had a great gig, and they I could tell I got them. There's a chick there, she had a great laugh. There was one woman, she smiled to the whole thing. Just, I've got her, like. Then they'd laugh, but they were one of those crowds. But then there's a bit of a gap. Then they pull their energy back, and then I just stop and go, "See what you just did? See, you're all on my side now. Where you gone? Hey." I call it, you're like a wet lawnmower audience. That's what I call it. Right. Yeah, we laugh at that bit. Now it's back to you, mate. No, that's not how it works. You've got to get on board. And they start laughing, right? They start fucking laughing, right?
Yeah.
Great. Fuck yeah, okay. Sorry about that, mate. I tell them, I'm turning this franchise around, You said here, you want to write reviews. Well, I'm writing reviews of you. I reckon 3 out of 5.
That really is holding up the mirror to them as well. That's just going, well, here's what I'm seeing. Like,
let's not pretend this isn't fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not going to dance like a monkey to try and make it not be uncomfortable.
Mm.
Right. And
I'm comfortable.
Let's not kid ourselves. This is not going great. So, you know, sometimes you can just start to get in there and they start going, yeah, okay, fuck it, let's have a good time.
Yeah. Bring their defenses down.
Yeah. Because, you know, and then if they just, you know, sometimes I don't even know how it works, but it just started doing it. It just started working. It wasn't almost like a big plan. I premeditated. I just started telling them on stage, I'm not having a good time. You know,
yeah,
because it's a bummer. Because, you know, if you were having a good time, I'd be having a great time. You know, all I've got to do is get back to the hotel after this. This sucks because we only got 20 minutes. This was like, I used to say, this was like the cocaine. You wait all day for the cocaine, and now you're like bad cocaine. I waited 3 hours for that cunt to turn up. It's fucking rubbish.
Who cut my crowd? What did you
exactly.
cut this crowd with?
That's a good. I could bring that in. Someone cut me crowd with boring cunts. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, someone. Oh no. What was the audience like? Someone cut it with boring cunts.
Oh, that's brilliant. Holy shit.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I'll send you some links to this guy.
That'd be brilliant. I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, he's good to listen to. I'll send you some links to this other guy too. This is an interesting book. There's a few links so you can listen to him talk. To Spelling with TK, which is kind of like the same thing. So this is
okay.
This guy's been to the ringer, had a fucking spiritual awakening, get locked up in the psych ward, fucking fed pills. Yeah.
In the past.
He's got very interesting perspectives on this. You know, he started to notice when he realized, I realized I was kind of having a spiritual fucking awakening, and they were chucking me in the psych ward because he had a kind of real full-on one. Like, so they chuck him in the psych ward. He goes, but I knew these people had no idea what they were doing. He goes, I also noticed, this was an interesting thing, because he talks about like a virus in humanity too, which is an American Indian thing. So he goes, I noticed when I was getting locked in the psych ward that the doctors and the friends and the parents and that, he goes, somehow I knew there was an evil in it, but they all molded together to be against me. Right. And he kind of, because he's having this fucking transpersonal experience, he goes, and it was almost like a collective virus that pulled them all into fucking opposing me, waking up, like fucking full on. And it's a full on book. They're great books. Great guys to listen to, because it's shamanic stuff. It just makes more fucking sense to me, what I've always thought about. Like,
yeah,
because I've looked into lots of stuff, like the world is. I like what he said the other day. He goes, you know, a lot of Buddhists and that will say the world is an illusion, and I've looked into that a lot. You know, he goes, it's not. It's an apparition. That made more sense to me.
Yeah.
It's real. It's a living, breathing, real thing. It's real, but it's an apparition in the consensus that you have of reality at this point. You can't open up a transpersonal world in this bit. Why? You go nuts. Yeah. Like, so there's a veil so much in the sense of, you know. So this is why I find the science obsession so boring. Why? Because they're just operating in this bit to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, look, we're just measuring this solid bits, these bits.
Yeah. There's so
Right.
much.
And this is how you're doing your medicine with your robotic, like, compartmentalization of the body. And the fucking objectification of the body is just a thing, and just searching for the fucking for the cure. Where's the fucking cause? Where's the
Yeah.
yeah you know, like, you the reality is not, God, get a job and have 2 kids, and there's nothing wrong with that in a sense, but it's not the fucking. I mean, that's the beautiful part of us being human, isn't it? If you could just have a couple of kids,
Yeah. It's
be with some chick for all fucking who's cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's playing in the dance of creation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
there's so much that the construct.
they even make that fucking hard, don't they?
Yeah.
It's like, as I said, people, you know, like, people, these are the paradigms and beliefs I talk about people break out of. Like, you go, I'm going to buy a house, I'm going to buy some land, right? So you buy land, right? Well, off who? Who took the land? Aren't you on the earth? Didn't you manifest here like everybody else? Everybody else is somehow, but someone has managed to compartmentalize the planet as well and go, would you like some of this bit? Yeah, give us some cash. Well, who are you? Where did you get it? like
they started doing that to the moon.
Yeah, like where did you get it? Well, you find out where they get it. They get it from fucking treaties that they've had for fucking hundreds of years in Catholic churches and fucking.
Yeah.
Right. And now you just see it as a reality. You just see it as a reality.
Yeah.
That offers you freedom. Oh, I buy some land, or get some free, my own paradise, my own house. Like, who's selling you this land? See, you're going to die one day. And the land can be here for someone else. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, right. So, but someone took it all, and now they're selling it back.
Yeah.
Right, like,
fuck. Yeah.
You know, and they've been doing it. Like,
yeah.
Aboriginals didn't buy land. They took care of the land.
Yeah.
Knowing that what? Well, the land will take care of them.
Yeah.
And it will, won't it? It gives you 3 trucks full of mangoes with 1 seed. Shows you every day. Look.
Yeah.
Here's a tree that will give you 3 truckloads of mangoes. And now they want fucking $4 for one of them. Yeah. Now, I understand that's because, you know, some bloke grew them and we're living in cities and it's not just a community, and there's things entailed. I'm not some fantasy utopia guy, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's millions of people in a fucking city, you know, right? It's trucks and petrol and systems. But we're talking, let's look at it just from nature. What's it showing you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That everything is there.
Louis C.K. has a great bit. I can't remember it exactly, but it's like if God came back, he'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" People are like, "Well, I had to get a job," and it's what's a job? What's the thing?
I know.
That's a great bit. I left
I sort of had a lie. I sort of had a lie like that going, if God comes back, he's going to look and guess there's no way we're getting our bond back. Jesus Christ, what'd you do to the back room? Oh, too many parties.
You traumatized the lizards.
You know, like
you've done to the sheep.
You know, these, you know, sometimes I think, you know, these are just small things, but you think about it, you go, you know, you could pay to go on a holiday to Tunisia or something, and you got to stay in a clay hut that had a couple of hammocks in it, was lit by lanterns and candles, or had a fire in the middle. And you could be in there going, oh my God, this is fucking unreal. What a fucking holiday. That's how people lived ages ago. Like,
Yeah. It's a holiday into the past.
like
It's time.
like I know they were also shitting in ditches and carrying on it, right? I know you like your amenities, or you know, right? But really, that atmosphere, like this is just how people lived. Like, it was cool in there every night, wasn't it? And you like it, don't you? It's earthy and uncluttered and unfettered. With you just feel better in there, don't you?
Yeah.
So when I was in Vietnam once, I was driving through the taxi. We went out to do something in the day. And we were in this big 5-star hotel for the shows. Great hotel, you know, that fucking massive marble bath, king-size beds and huge TVs. So we were out in the countryside driving back this taxi, and it was raining, Vietnam rain, and there was like these 6 Asian blokes just sitting on milk crates in this garage and drinking piss or something like this. And I was in the taxi and I thought to myself, I was going back to this 5-star hotel. I thought, I'd rather sit in that fucking shed, right? Because I knew that the rain would come in through that shed, like you'd be dry, but the smell of that fucking just sit in some fucking dry shed when it was pissing down with blokes drinking piss. It's all right.
Yeah.
I mean that's what I think now in this, all of this that's going on. What can I do about it? Simply fucking be.
That's what I'm yeah.
Be in nature. Look at the glory of it. So we always go, we're getting back to nature. I've never understood that. What do you mean? How have you? I know what you're saying, but really, have you even gone anywhere?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's all in your mind that you've got to get back to nature. Why? Because your mind's filled with rubbish.
Yeah.
Right. You can't get back to nature. Why? You're of nature.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Like escape.
Right. So all this idea of getting back to it is the clutter that's in your fucking head from the bullshit. This is why, you know, I don't watch TV, as I said. But even if I'm watching some fucking, and I watch Friends and all this crap. But I can see, mate, the programming in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I watch it, it's a whole different thing. I'm just watching the propaganda, dropping the lines, the character traits, the things they're doing, the fucking, Friends is the single mother, get the thing, gay blokes, feminine blokes aren't really sort of, the one guy that does get chicks is a dummy.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
The
lovable goof.
Yeah.
Right?
The father is always an idiot in all those sitcoms. The father is always, I'm just a man.
He's a fucking idiot, and then she's going to have a kid by herself, and why shouldn't she? And it's like, yeah, because, you know, watch that 24 series. God, you want to see about pre-programmed propaganda to have a black president in the United States?
Yeah.
Unfucking believable. I'd never watched it till recently, and then I watched it. When was this made? So it's made like 2001. So he's got in like 2009. So I'm sitting there going, and what is it? There's a black president, and everything this guy does is moral.
Yeah. Yeah.
He won't even though right. And who's always up against him? Corrupt white guys.
Yeah.
Right. Then even the two guys that got to play the most corrupt white guys in positions of power in this thing, you just didn't like aesthetically. Right, everything's covered. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
One they made whiny and bitchy in a face that's not that masculine. It's not. You don't connect with it as a guy or a chick, I think. You know what I mean? Like. So, and he was whiny and very devious and fucked. And then the other one was just, you didn't like him. He was a gruff face. But that time, the original black president who'd been assassinated, now his brother, because it's 3 years later into the next series or something. Now he's president. Right. And of course, he's got to follow his brother's moral thing. And now there's another evil white guy trying to bring him down. And what also happens in the show? Well, massive collectivism of what? Legitimizing torture for the good of the collective.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And which is also going to be what we're dealing with today, right? The collective, the good of the collective. Absolute abhorrent behavior for the good of the collective.
Yeah.
It's all in these fucking shows.
Yeah.
They were the two fucking big ones in that one for me. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's happening all the time. I mean, look at the way they made smoking indoors illegal. That should show you, to begin with, folks, there's an agenda. Do you think all these countries just agreed to not smoke in hotels and restaurants and offices at once? Right.
All right. Yeah.
What do you mean? Do you think that Denmark, Canada, America, Australia, Ireland, Scotland, Finland, Italy, Sweden, Norway, Estonia, fucking now, yeah, there's a few places in Greece and Italy and Estonia I could probably go and still have a smoke. And so, yeah, I know there's a few little, but basically, if I'm in a corporate internationalist hotel in any country in the world, it'll be no smoking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So
holy shit.
And how did you make everybody agree? Well, they signed treaties. Right. And also insurance companies can just go in and threaten everybody that if you don't do this, because of self and safety, fire, rock and hard place, we'll put your insurance in. So everyone acquiesces.
Yeah.
Right. So then what we do, we make cigarettes so bad, we put pictures of dead bodies on them all the time because we know what your subconscious takes in. That's why we write cancer and death and all over it. And now you just sit at dinner tables with pictures of dead bodies and limbs on the table while you have your chat.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Right. And you don't even notice. I don't even notice, Steve. Exactly. Then what do? Then they get cigarettes. You've got to go over there and buy them behind the screen. The other part, we don't sell them at the checkout anymore. You've got to go over there behind the screen, which is what? Pre-predicting programming, you're getting what? To isolating people who won't do things that are good for their health.
Wow, yeah. Fuck.
Is that turned up again?
Yeah, once they rail us in these behaviors, they just right, well, let's repeat that program. Let's run that fucking program again. Bam.
Because we did it when they didn't notice.
Yeah.
Well, they noticed the cigarettes, but they acquiesced. They didn't know anything. So it just happened. And then we did that subtle one. We just put it over there. So it's all done on purpose.
Yeah.
This is not a coincidence. Steve's not paranoid. Don't you understand? Don't you understand?
Yeah,
right. Like
I can't help but laugh at this stuff. It's just when you see it, it's just like, oh fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right in front of you.
Yeah. How did I not see that?
That's like I spoke to this guy in New Zealand, this guy I know, and he's going, so I'll go to the website to see what it's what the rules are to not wear a mask. He goes, and so I read it all, and it basically came down to this: if you don't want to, you don't have to. But no one went and read it.
Yeah.
So here's what people don't understand. See, what they just did then is they told you. Right? So it's a big game, right? You can win, right? But you've got to think. See, they told you. Here, they didn't point you there. In fact, they probably directed you away from it with the propaganda. They're not saying they're playing fair here.
Yeah.
Right. But here's your thing, right? But none of you went. So because you just did it when we told you didn't have to, we didn't do anything to you.
Yeah.
So and also, because you did do that, now you've got to pay for the karma of what in your ignorance you've done under threat.
Yeah.
What has this done to other things? You don't know how you've affected reality now.
Yeah.
But we didn't make you do it. So we've absconded from our karma.
There's a real thing of them, they'll tell you what they're going to do before they do it. And it's there's a trick that people can use where they'll use sarcasm in a way where they'll go, oh, sure, I'm going to steal from you. Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm the bad guy. And if you listen to what they are actually saying, they're saying, I'm going to steal from you. I'm the bad guy. And you go, well, holy fuck, he said and they escape the karma that way. It's another trick that it is a karmic escape because you let it happen. They told you they were going to do it. They did it. You accepted it.
It's almost like, it's kind of Levian Satanism ideology, isn't it? Because that's predatory in the sense of, if you're not smart enough to work out what's being done, that's not my fault.